Very good morning, children. How are you all? I am Deepa, your physical science teacher from Dr. Besant School. Okay, welcome back to our physical science session again. I hope you are watching all the videos, you are understanding, and you will do the work and send us. Okay, so before starting our session, you should be ready with your books, your textbook, classwork, everything you should be ready. Okay, children? Okay. What we have discussed in the previous session? Just shall we recall once? Which chapter we are discussing? We are discussing about friction, isn't it? So we have discussed friction, types of friction like static friction, sliding friction, and also we discussed the factors on which the friction depends. And also we learned, is friction necessary or not? And also we learned that friction produces heat. Advantages and disadvantages of friction we learned, and we learned friction produces heat. All these are the topics we learned. And also we learned how to increase the friction and how to decrease the friction. This is all we learned in our previous session. Now today's session we are going to learn another type of friction. What is that? That is rolling friction. Okay, children? So, in your textbook, page number 27, activity 8, effects of rollers on friction. Let us see one example here. Suppose you are going to a camp. Okay? Generally, when you, with your family, you are going to the camp. So, where you will place all your clothes? In a bag or in a suitcase. Isn't it? Nowadays, what type of suitcase we all are carrying? Are we lifting the suitcase to all the places where we are moving? Or we are dragging the suitcase on the wheels? Which type of suitcase generally we are using? Which type of suitcase is easy for us to carry? Whether to lift the suitcase and go or to drag the suitcase on wheels? Which is easy for us? Yes. The suitcase having the wheels is very comfortable for us to take to any place. Even the small children like you or even your younger brothers, sisters, they will also be ready. I will drag the suitcase. I will drag the suitcase. They will tell or not. How much weight it is. Easily they can drag the suitcase. Why? By same weight, isn't it? Will the suitcase weight decreases? It is same weight. But what is happening? The wheels are rolling on the surface of the floor, isn't it? So instead of dragging the suitcase without wheels, the suitcase with wheels is very easy to drag, isn't it? Why? Because the wheels are rolling on the surface of the floor, which will have very less friction, isn't it? Let us see an activity to understand it more. See. Let me do a small activity for these children. Let us take a book. Okay, let us take a book. I have placed the book here. Okay, and now I'll push the book. See, I have pushed the book. How much distance it went? Only up to this much distance. The same force I will apply. Now what I will do is, we will take 3 pencils or 3 pens without caps. Anything you can take. 3 pencils or 3 pens without cap. Okay. And place them here on the floor. Now place the same book on the pencils. You are able to see? It is visible, madam. Okay. Now I placed this. Now apply the same force. See here. Which is easy? See. Just with very less force also, the book is moving. Isn't it? Why the book is moving? Why the book is moving so easily? See, just very easily it is moving. Why? What is happening? Here the pencils are rolling, isn't it? As they are rolling, the friction will decrease and the speed will increase. Understood, children? So here the pencils are rolling on the surface. In the same way, suitcase wheels also will roll on the surface of the floor. So the friction that is acting on that wheels which are rolling is called such a friction is called rolling friction. Am I clear, children? So what is that rolling friction? Definition, what is meant by rolling friction? When one body rolls over the surface of another body, the friction offered is called rolling friction. When one body rolls over the surface of another body, when one body rolls over the surface of another body, the friction offered is called rolling friction. Please note down, children, in your notes this definition. When one body rolls over the surface of another body, one body rolls over the surface of another body, the friction offered is called rolling friction. Am I clear, children? Right. Now, next activity, understanding the principle of ball bearings. Understanding the principle of ball bearings. What are these ball bearings? Before that, after doing this activity, you will get what are the idea of that ball bearings. What are that ball bearings and what is the use of that ball bearings? What are that ball bearings to understand? See here. Let us take two lids. Okay, two lids you take. Now place one lid over the other lid and rotate it and check. You can do. You can also do along with me or afterwards. You can take any two lids from your kitchen. Okay, place one lid over the other lid and try to rotate it. See, is it rotating easily? So easily or not? It is not rotating that much easily, right? Now what you will do is, let us take some marbles, 4 or 5 marbles. You all know marbles, no? You will be playing with these marbles, right? Now place this marble on one lid. Place the marbles on the lid. Now place another lid on that marble. See. Okay. Now you rotate it. See how easily it is rotating or not? Compared to before, see how easily it is rotating? Yes or no? It is easily rotating. Not only that, you observe this top lid is not touching the bottom lid. Yes or no? Top lid is not touching the bottom lid and it is rotating very easily. Isn't it? What you understood from this activity? Why we are discussing about this? How these marbles are protecting, not allowing these two lids to touch each other. The same way in machine parts, in between the machine parts which will be rolling on the surface of other, this ball bearings means a metal balls will be there. I think you have seen even in your cycle and all also you will see for cycle wheels and all. Isn't it? That ball bearings will be placed in between the parts of the machine which will be rubbing each other. If the ball bearings are placed like that, in between these two, what is the advantage of that? These two are not touching each other, you see. They will not touch each other, one advantage. Other advantage is it rotates easily. Easily motion, isn't it? Easily rotating, and if they both are not touching each other, what is the advantage? What is the advantage of that? Can you tell? The parts will not get damaged. Understood? They will not get damaged. Wearing out of parts will not take place. Wearing out of parts. What is the meaning of that? Wearing out of parts in Telugu, what we call arigipovatum. You listen this word, Telugu. Arigipovatum. Isn't it? When they are rubbing like that, here these parts will become wearing out. Means arigipotai. Understood? So as they will not touch each other when these ball bearings are there, that metal balls will be there, and now these two parts will not touch each other. So it will protect, the ball bearings will protect that parts not to get spoiled. They will protect them for not to getting spoiled. Okay children, clear? Right. So you understood about, so I think you understood about ball bearings. So what are these ball bearings? To reduce friction between rotating shafts of machine tools. These ball bearings are used. See, I am rubbing this rolling friction. I hope you all have noted this. Right. So what is the principle of ball bearings? To reduce friction between, to reduce friction, to reduce friction between rotating shafts of machine tools. Rotating shafts of to reduce friction between rotating shafts of machine tools. What we will use? We use ball bearings. Okay, they are the metal balls. Understood children about ball bearings? All right. This is about rolling friction and ball bearings. Our next topic is fluid friction. I hope you all noted this one. To reduce friction between rotating shafts. Rotating shafts. What is used? Where are these rotating shafts? In some of the machine tools. We use ball bearings. Am I clear? Next. So how many types of friction we learned up to now? How many types of friction we learned? We learned 3 types of friction. What are they? Static friction, sliding friction, rolling friction. Now another type of friction we are going to learn. What is that another type of friction? You will understand, you will tell me after a small activity. Shall we do a small activity? Yes. Let us take a glass, okay, a glass tumbler, a spoon, and pour some water in this glass. I'm pouring some water in the glass. I have taken some water in the glass. Okay. Now keep the spoon in the glass. Okay. And observe the water now. What you are doing? You are stirring. Stir the water. What I am doing? Stirring the water. So what is happening to the water now? Water whirls around its axis. Observe the water. Is it whirling around the axis? Whirling means moving, isn't it? Now observe what is happening to that speed of the whirling. See again. Observe carefully. Is the water drilling? You can see drilling of the water. I'll make you it more clear. 1 minute, children. Now you can see more clearly. I am bringing it near. Now see, I have taken water and I am stirring the water. Can you see now? Water is drilling on its own axis or not? Can you see there? Yes? Now observe. What is happening to the speed of that drilling? Speed has decreased and now finally what happened? Is the water drilling still? No, it stopped. Why? Why it stopped? Why it is not drilling like that continuously on its own axis? Why it has stopped? Can you tell? Yes. Why it has stopped? Any object which is in motion, why it will stop? Why? Because of frictional force. Here frictional force between what? See, the layer, water layer and the surface of the glass. The water layer which is touching the surface of the glass. See. Now observe again. Once again. See, it is drilling. Speed is decreasing. Finally, stopped. Why? Frictional force between the water layer and the glass surface. Clear? Understanding? So, frictional force is acting even for liquids. Even it acts on liquids also. Okay, not only on liquids, it also acts on gases. Okay, you are understanding? Okay. So, liquids and gases together are called what? You know, have you listened any time? Liquids and gases together are called fluids. What are they called? Liquids and gases together are called fluids. Fluids. What is meant by fluids? The substances that flow freely. The substances that flow freely are called fluids. Like example, liquids, gases. So liquids and gases together are called fluids because they will flow freely. Liquids will flow freely, gases will flow freely, isn't it? So liquids and gases together are called fluids. And the force acting on these liquids and gases, what are they called? That force, the frictional force acting on liquids and gases is called fluid friction. It is called fluid friction. You understood? You have seen now water. The drilling of the water got stopped after some time. Why it got stopped after some time? Because of frictional force between the water layer and the glass surface. Isn't it? So the frictional force acting on that liquids or gases is called fluid friction. Understood, children? So you can see this fluid friction. You can observe this when you are traveling in on, suppose like you can observe fluid friction when you travel in a boat. When you travel in a boat, it requires a force to move forward or not? Why it requires the force? Because of frictional force between that water and the surface of the boat. Understood? So not only liquids, even frictional force even applied for air also. Like, see, not only liquids, gases and air also offer friction to bodies like aeroplanes. Aeroplanes, jets, when they move through air. Understood, children? And the frictional force exerted by fluids is called the frictional force exerted by fluids. The frictional force exerted by fluids is called drag. The frictional force exerted by fluids is called drag. Very important. What is meant by drag? The frictional force exerted by fluids is called drag. Am I clear, children? You understood? So you will see this fluid friction not only in water but also in air for bodies like aeroplanes, jets and all etc. Activity 11. Identifying factors influencing the fluid friction. What are the factors that is influencing the fluid friction? So, now suppose you take a tub of water and you place your hand perpendicular to the surface of the water. Take a tub of water and place your hand perpendicular to the surface of the water and move your hand up and down like this. Okay? Next you move your hand to and fro. To and fro you move your hand. Up and down, to and fro. Okay, what type of motion, whether up and down or to and fro, you should apply more force. Can you answer? Will you try at home and see? Up and down, to and fro. For which you should apply more force? Yes, while moving to and fro, you should apply more force because there is more frictional force exerted by the water. Understood? So, in frictional force on an object in a fluid depends on its speed. One of the factor which it depends is speed with respect to fluid and another one on the shape of the object and on the nature of the fluid. So, three factors you can see here. What are they? Factors which it depends. How many factors? Three factors. One is speed of the object, another one shape of the object and another one nature of the fluid. Nature of the fluid. These are the factors which this fluid friction will depend. What are the factors? Speed. Speed of the object in that fluid. Shape of the object. Speed of the object. Shape of the object. And nature of the fluid. These are the three factors in which the fluid friction will depend. Have you noted down, children? Fluid friction depends on three factors. What are they? Speed of the object, shape of the object and nature of the object. Noted it? Right. Now, It is obvious that when objects move through fluids, they have to overcome friction acting on them. Isn't it? Any object which is in motion should overcome the friction acting on it. Then only it can move forward. Now, so efforts are made to minimize friction. Objects are given special shapes. Have you seen any time the shape of the ship, shape of the aeroplane? Why aeroplane should be that shape only? Why not aeroplane can be in bus shape or car shape? Why it should, with the wings it should have that shape only? Did you got that doubt any time? Did you get that doubt any time? Yes? Can anyone answer why it should have only that shape? Yes. That shape will protect the aeroplane, to helps the aeroplane to overcome the frictional force acting on that aeroplane. Frictional force acting on that aeroplane by the surrounding fluid. What is the surrounding fluid? Air. Isn't it? It is moving very fast in air. So to move that much fast, it should overcome the frictional force acting on it. To overcome that frictional force, aeroplane should be only in that shape. Then only it can overcome that fluid friction. Other shapes it cannot overcome that friction. In the same way, why ship should be have that shape only? Why not in any other shape? Because when it is in that shape only, it will overcome the fluid friction acting on that. Then how the people got the idea to design that shape? How they came to know only in that shape they can overcome the frictional force? Can you answer? Think once. How they got that idea? Yes, they got that idea by, you can see this figure, you will get the answer. Yes. How they got the idea? By seeing the nature. Obviously, by observing the birds. Then the people understood that aeroplane should have that shape only. Same like the shape of the bird. Birds are flying in the air or not? They are moving in the air. How they are able to move? Because of the shape of their body. They are able to overcome the frictional force. So aeroplane also should move in that air. So it should also have that shape. Understood? That's why aeroplane is designed in that shape only. So by seeing the birds in air and fishes in water, okay, the people got the idea to give that shapes for aeroplanes and ships. Am I clear? So that special shapes is helpful to overcome the frictional force. What is that special shapes called as? The special shapes are called as streamlined shapes. Note down, children, it is not given in your book. Special shapes are called streamlined shapes. The special shapes given for birds, aeroplanes, ships, etc. They are called streamlined shapes. Understood? What is the use of that streamlined shapes? They are used to overcome the fluid friction. The streamlined shapes are used to overcome the fluid friction. Am I clear, children? You understood? So total how many types of friction we have learned? 4 types of friction. What are the 4 types of friction? Sliding friction, static friction, rolling friction and fluid friction. Now can you tell among all this, which friction is more? Answer? Yes. Which friction is more? Static friction is more. Because in static friction, body is not in motion. Body is completely at rest. Because that static friction is more. And among the 3 frictions, static friction, sliding friction and rolling friction, which friction is less? Rolling friction is less because the body can move easily. Understood, children? So static friction is greater than sliding friction. Sliding friction is greater than rolling friction. Am I clear? This is our chapter friction. So with this we have completed our chapter friction. I hope you all are thorough with this chapter friction. Okay, prepare this, read the entire textbook and you should highlight the main words, keywords, okay, of the entire lesson. Clear children? Thank you.